Welcome to a brand new episode of the Fitish podcast. We're coming at you feeling not 100% today. I don't know if we'll ever feel 100% for the rest of our lives. But
I think we just have to settle with 70% max.
You sound sick as shit, actually. I just realized. I haven't seen you in a day, and you sound sick.
No, babe, I feel like sickly, like body aching, my neck. I feel like I need some vacations.
I feel sick, but full disclosure, I might have ingested some Delta 8 an hour ago in the middle of the workday, and I'm feeling great.
Sounds good.
I'm feeling better than I have in the last week. That's why I'm what?
You're grabbing a carrot instead of a microphone?
Yeah. If I look down. No, I feel good, but
this is how
just
I feel.
Product testing, you know.
Middle of the day coffee.
Middle of the day coffee. We're old now. I don't know if you saw my TikTok I posted last night. I had some assessments on mom life, and part of us being sick like kind of went into it. But I saw a TikTok recently. There's a few, a lot of, if you're on Mom Talk and you start seeing the viral stuff, but some girl posted on TikTok this crazy list that she has. I think she's in her 20s. I don't even know if I've seen the original video, but anyway, it's a list of like 100 things. It almost looks like the credits to Star Wars, and it's all the reasons she doesn't want to have a child. A lot of them are very valid, but a lot of it's like, your body's never the same again. Okay, yeah. Those are those things that are true and valid, but there are some things I've noticed as a mom lately, more niche, more day-to-day affecting your life. One of those things.
Caring of the baby?
Everything. Oh, gosh, I know. I like to sit here massaging my stomach. I still get cramps sometimes, like he's in there. He's not in there. No.
Well, you're getting cramps. Mine is growing.
I thought
I'm pregnant.
This is the first time that he's gotten sick since I had COVID when I was pregnant with him and about to pop at 8 months. So Remy got really sick last week. It was good timing, actually. It was like right after we recorded the podcast. And so we had gotten that out of the way for the week. And we had the ice storm here in North Texas.
Scary.
But like we were trapped at home, first time dealing with a sick baby. He had 105, and y'all already know how Francisco reacted when he stuck that thermometer up Remy's butt and it came back 105. Fran was like running around the house like the house was on fire. We got to rush to the emergency room. And of course, it's like 4 a.m. And I'm like, take a breath. Let's call the doctor.
And of course, you guys know how Jenna reacted. Is like, but is he dead? I was like, babe, but is he dead? I was like, babe, he's like 107.
What are you talking? He wasn't 107.
He was 105.
That's not 107. This is what you do.
Like rounding it up a little.
You wonder where the drama prince gets it from. Right there. Drama prince got it from his daddy.
The drama prince has a lot of drama gens all around.
I was concerned, but having you and Candy snowed in here, wearing me with a fever when he just wanted us to hold him, I don't know what my deal is as a parent. Like, I'm way more chill than I thought I was going to be. I'm concerned, but I knew exactly what was going to happen. We were going to take him to the ER. We were going to spend $500 that we don't have to spend. They were going to say, just watch his fever, just Motrin every 4 hours, alternate Motrin and Tylenol, and take him home and bring him back in 2 days if it's not better. I know that's what they were going to do. They weren't even going to medicate him. And we decided, I'm so glad they have nurses to call. That nurse made you feel so much better talking to you about his temperature and what it should be.
Yeah, otherwise I would have taken him in.
Yeah. So I'm glad
by myself. Again.
Okay. The other time you took him, you still haven't paid that bill. Because I keep getting the bill from the ER.
Well, send that to me because I think that's not the ER. I think that's the MRI.
And that was when you dropped him on his head. And I didn't even think then he needed to go to the hospital. Did he?
Yes.
No, he didn't. He was fine. What did they say?
No. He didn't need to go to the doctor. I needed.
You needed.
To go to the doctor. So.
You needed.
Yeah.
I know.
Have you been making out with like a chocolate monster?
I don't know I'm a mom now, Fran. I apologize for our coughing and our voice changes on the show today. That was really where I was going with that TikTok, though. So we get sick and you get really fucking sick. So Remy slept with me. Of course, all sleep training went to shit because he was so sick, y'all. It was so pitiful. I mean, he didn't crawl around for 2 days. He just held on to us. And of course, work is suspended. You're pretty helpless, like you can't get anything done.
It dawned on me.
What?
Keep going. I'll go.
What?
we had a conversation the day before, and I said, for my life, I will not pick him up unless he really needs to be picked up. I'm gonna let him cry.
Yeah. But then he got really sick.
But that was that night.
I know.
He heard me. I was like, hold my beer. You pick me up.
It was really sad, actually. He was just not doing good.
He was so sad.
And then I was like, well, maybe it's a kid virus, you know. I don't know why. I didn't even consider whether I would get it or not. And of course, knocked on my ass. I have a cold. My throat's sore. Then it got worse and worse the next day and the next day. And like, we've been in denial.
And like parvovirus, like it's just a dog's virus. Like that doesn't jump into humans.
Fran, you are really tough. Like you don't ever like to admit when you're sick. But I could tell he was sick. So I'm like, how are you feeling? He's like, I think it's just a little cough. It's just like a small, it's allergies. Like that's the bullshit. And then I could tell you didn't feel good either. And then my mom got sick. So we have all been super sick because when kids get sick, you get really sick. So all Fran and I did, it was a moment of more birth control for us. Not that we need more right now, but like we were like, how would we have another child with a sick kid with both of us being so sick? Parenting for the first time, you have to do it. Parenting while sick, when the kid starts to get healthy again and you're really sick, is just like another level of hell.
But like it's all, you learn about endurance and limits, because when you believe that you have reached or you're about to reach the limit of tiredness, like you cannot just do anymore. Like you need sleep, you realize that there's a second wave, third wave, fifth wave of energy that comes out. Not because you have it in you, it's because you have no choice.
Yeah.
So you either parent or you parent or you put him in a crate, which...
A crate?
Yeah, like Weezy's crate or something like that. But that's not an option. So you parent. And there was times that week that I was like cross-eyed, like looking at Miss Rachel. I think we had conversations.
I'm really lucky, and I recognize it. I mean, we have help, not quite full-time, but, a decent chunk of the week. And, I'm only really like solo momming it for chunks of hours at a time, totally alone. And it's still hard. I know everyone, you don't know until you have kids, but I have so much respect for, especially like kind of the stay-at-home moms that are the primary, the primary caregiver, right? When it's not a split and they do everything around the house, because it's really intense and it's really difficult. And
they should have a show. Like they have these shows like Deadliest Catch, like firefighters doing like forest fires and stuff like that fly into helicopters, throw water. They should have a show about full-time moms.
They do. It's called Wife Swap.
Well, that's the, like a little bit. I see where your mind is going there. No, not a swingers mom thing.
No, it's not swingers.
No, I know, but it's kind of swingery without sex. You just trade wives and
like all the downside.
Yeah. You just meet someone else to boss you around. But it is such I don't know if I can say thankless job, but it's something that it's not appreciated as much as it should.
It made me think I need to make an app. I read that
to take a nap
overseas, make an app. Are you stuffy in the head more than usual?
Oh, baby, if I'm just dead staring, I'm sleeping. Just wake me up.
No, an app, which someone's going to take my idea. I'm just going to say it because I don't have the time. I'm already starting, like other businesses too. But overseas, like the Danish, for instance, just do everywhere in Europe, in my opinion, they just do childcare and like I guess I should say more the treatment of like postpartum mothers is just so much better in so many ways. But one thing I read that they do in a lot of those, at least I think it's in the Netherlands, when you leave the hospital with your baby, they will enter you, if you want, opt into a group of women that you get introduced to that all had babies the same week as you, right? So there's like a network of women that are so like, right. Cause I think that's what's so critical. Sure. I have some friends that had kids a couple of years ago, so they get it, but not really, like you kind of want to meet new people that are in that moment with you. I mean, I think I find that's why certain people that listen to this podcast and that reach out to me, I know, right?
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have said this.
Yeah, it should not.
Really?
It's an amazing idea.
Is it?
Yes.
Don't take it, audience. I need to get going on that. That we create like an app, like next door.
And if someone comes up and I see that app, I'm gonna dig deep inside. And if we're in your podcast list, I'm gonna find you.
Kind of like the next door app, right? Which we have to talk about that message in a second because we are so entertained by the suburban next door neighborhood app. So we're gonna talk about that in just a second.
I just have one question. Have you been listening to this guy? Have you been?
No, we'll tell them. We'll read them the message. But no, I just think that there's such a lack of like, well, we see, Fran doesn't read kind of the day-to-day depressing news as much as I do, and I try to stay away. But, recently, and I don't like to get really like dark on the show, but, a woman was dealing with such bad postpartum psychosis. She killed her children and tried to kill herself, and she lived. The husband left for like 20 minutes. But she, that's a whole nother level that's like beyond postpartum depression. I couldn't imagine trying to deal with that. But I think that the rates here of postpartum depression are so bad because there's just not enough mental support. And, Danny, who works for me, had a baby a few months after me, and her and I have become
She depressed?
more than coworkers, like we're friends. No, not at all. But it's so nice to be able to talk to someone about these very small things that you feel all the time. No, we're not depressed. It's kind of just struggling with our new identity from, on certain days, and just kind of the monotony of what elements of being a mom are, and that it's so wonderful for sure. But, like the TikTok I made, like hot food, fucking forget about it. You are never going to eat hot food again for the rest of your life. Like, I can't tell you the last time I bit into something and burned my mouth. I like microwaved that pizza the other night just to burn my mouth. So that was like an element of it, right? Or like, I'm just like, I'm tired, you're physically tired because you're like standing up and sitting down a lot. Like these little things that, I feel old, being a mom. But yeah, sure. There's the mental stuff that I talk openly about on the show that I think you maybe don't go through as much as I do. Just kind of like physically, my identity, trying to work. Like every day I feel like I don't have enough of me to give to things that I want to do. It's just different now. This week's a challenge too. So you're catching me at a time that's kind of hard because Francisco was out of town for the last 24 hours, which is a lot. And then I was just informed that he's going to be leaving again. Not telling you what day of the week, because then I don't like giving away the day I'm going to be alone. But he is going to go out of town again for like another probably 36 hours. And I gotta single mom it. It's hard out there.
My offer's still on the table. I'll take the monster.
So Francisco said he wants to take him. And it's weird, and that's part of this mental health stuff for me. It's like, it's a weird no man's land that I'm in right now, because being alone with Remy for a couple of days when my mom's not able to come over, I won't have any childcare. Like that's a lot, and I probably sound ridiculous complaining, but then you taking him, like, what about me? You're going to take him and not me. So then you're going to take him. But then the thought of being 2 or 3 days without both of y'all, I don't want that one either. So it's kind of like, it's hard.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to pay someone to come over here and hang out with me and help me.
Yeah. Just get another baby. Maybe a doll. We have Bruce. Play with Bruce.
But anyway, I just think, this is such a great time to let y'all know that this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Mental health is so important. And I've had so many phases of my life where therapy's played a really useful role. You don't just have to be in a relationship or postpartum. But yeah, if you're single momming it, you're probably like, well, Jenna, great. I don't have the money or the time to spend going to therapy, but I need it. It's like, well, this is why BetterHelp, one of the main reasons they're so great. It's the affordability and the convenience. So yeah, it'd be really hard as a single mom to like get out of the house and drive yourself somewhere and talk about everything you have going on, but you need someone to vent to. And someone to help you problem solve. And BetterHelp will match you up with a therapist who specializes in your area of need, often in under 72 hours. If you're thinking
or less,
yeah, they'll match you. Francisco, I mean, you were matched. How long did it take them to match you with someone when you wanted some therapy?
It was a minute just because it was a very complicated situation. No, I'm just kidding. It was really actually quickly. But it's so cool because
It was like overnight, but it took you 2 weeks to get back to them because you're so bad at communicating. But anyway, your experience was great.
No, it was great. And the application, the app is so cool because you download it and you answer all of these questions. Like it's, I don't know, 20 questions. And they match you with someone to the T, like someone that
and you get a chance to switch, by the way, after you've had, a session with someone if they're not a good fit.
Yeah, you
they
can
want
shop around.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
can shop around. But
Like if you didn't hear what you wanted to hear, you can say, okay, so she's right, I'm
No.
wrong. Okay, let's get another therapist.
Well, anyway, go. If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/Fitish today to get 10% off your first month. Like I said, it's already affordable and convenient. You can do it from home. That's betterhelp.com/Fitish. Okay, so back to not my app idea, but I got to get on that because
Yes, now you have to hurry the F up.
I don't have time for more. Who am I kidding? I'm just going to start a ton of businesses.
Yeah.
No, I want to read the message. We just were also in a mood, but I read it to the girls at the office today, and they thought it was hilarious. Yeah.
But it was the whole context. I was in bed, and
I
we
hear
were
him
watching a
giggling.
show, and I was just cracking up. Like, and when you see something in like here in Dallas, we have Dallas TV on Instagram, and you see like some weird ass news, and the comments are what makes that amazing because it's like incredible comments, sarcastic people,
Funny,
like people
clever.
making. In this, it's just amazing. I will let you read it.
Oh, like they don't pass the vibe check? No, they do. But it's just funny. So this is the message. This was next door? Is this
Next
in the
Door
app,
app,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Because I became part of the Next Door app of
In
our
this
area.
neighborhood.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got to get in there.
you're still in the other one.
Uh-huh.
People get shot in the other one. Here, it's just funny.
Yeah, and the other one, it was always gunshots.
Yeah.
This one, are you all ready? Okay. And I'm sure y'all have some great posts from your areas, depending on where you live. But this just really like tickled Francisco and I. It says, I recently saw a tragic post about a dog in the neighborhood getting attacked and killed by a hawk. For those of you who have backyard chickens, you probably already know this, but it might be useful information for small dog owners as well. We've noticed the birds talk to each other. They don't have to be the same type of bird, but everyone listens. When there's a hawk in the area, our chickens hide because the birds in the trees warn them of the hawk. So those of you with small dogs, before you let them out, listen to the birds. And if they're making a racket, there might be some danger around. So friends, like, this is a funny post. He reads it to me.
Also, it was high.
Well, that's probably good to put that on there.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like the best post I've ever seen, but it's the comments. 52 comments under this post. So, of course,
wait, just pause. The comments that you think that are going to be like outrageous, like.
yeah. And no, every single comment of the 52 comments is like that person had left 52 comments. Like they're all on her wavelength. It's amazing. They're all like, yeah, my chickens are hiding. And I'm like, how many people around here have backyard chickens?
Like,
this just supports your theory that we moved to the country.
Yeah.
No, it's so amazing though, because yeah, it used to be gunshots and robberies. And now, well, I mean, I guess there's some of that over here, but like now it's about the birds talking to each other. And then sure enough, I'm in the Poozy yesterday and I noticed a bunch of birds in the trees and they were squawking. And I'm like, Wheezy's outside. I better watch Wheezy.
Yeah. But no. I was in the Pussy the day before. And did you hear
No.
that the people from 5409, the husband was cheating on her? The birds we're talking about all these
Shut
things.
up. I was like,
Like
wait,
they're sleeping with
what?
the people from 5408. Like it was just crazy. The gossip that they have going on is just in a different level. They tell me some stuff about you, what you do when I'm not around, but
Sleep, watch TikTok. No. I just think it's actually like kind of cute and charming and funny. No one was bullying her.
no.
That's what's refreshing.
I was about to be the bully and I was like, stop yourself.
Like you stopped me the other day.
Like I stopped you the other day. I think we need to check each other's survive, not to be bullies, because this world has enough of that. I was about to not put
I
a
am
mean
not
comment.
a bully, and
You're
I
not
don't want to be
bully.
a bully. Fran gets a
Besides
message on Facebook
bullying me, but
Marketplace
yeah.
from a woman. He's trying to buy a ring from her. That was the better
Well, let me
message to
put a
read on here.
context. So I'm constantly looking at the marketplace.
Everyone already knows this about you. This is like
And-
family here. They
course.
already know that you're a weirdo that's on Facebook Marketplace all the time.
And I saw this gold ring, and you know, I like gold to buy, to collect. It's a good asset to have. And I see it, and it was kind of cheap. So it's like, let's see. And she's like, keep going if you want.
No, I remember the conversation, and then this all transpired, and then you showed it to me. So I had the pleasure of seeing, like, digesting it all in one screenshot. And you said to her, "Is this still available?" She's like, "Yes, it is," but she was going to take it. Like, it was very poorly
I was
written.
about to take it to a pawn shop to make sure
To
it
make
was
sure it was
gold.
real gold. And you're like, "Is it 14 karat?" And she's like, "Yes." And she sends you a photo, and it's like her. I mean, I'm one to talk right now with like my tan drops on my fingers, but like she just sends like this little hand, and like the nail has like peeled off like green nail polish, like it looks rough, and you know, and
Working person.
and it wasn't like a working hand. It was like just a bad nail situation. But that's the photo she sends you with like the gold men's ring on her thumb or whatever. And you said something like, you know, price wise, or you were like, "Let me know what they say." And then she's like, "Okay, do you want to buy some feet pics?"
Well, I don't know if she was. Did
Hold
she
on.
say buy? I think she was just offering them for free.
"Do you want some feet pics?" No, she said buy. "Do you want to buy some feet pics?" And Fran was like, hard pass, like real quick. And she was like, "Haha, my fiance told me I wouldn't do it." And Fran's like, "Haha." And like, that was it. And so I made a TikTok out of it, like with a video, because I'm like, this is amazing conversation that she offered that. Cause like, first of all, her fiance did not dare her to do that. Like, I find that hard to believe. And she's selling his ring
are
also.
actually pretty.
And I was making a comment that said like, I don't like the status of this nail the fingernail does not bode well for what's on the toes, you know? And I was recording my TikTok, and Fran literally interrupted me and was like, bully to me, his partner, who just got solicited. You just got solicited feet pics. He was like, "Bully, don't say that." And of course, I immediately was like, "Oh my gosh, you're right. Like, I shouldn't say that," because I do agree with you. Like, I don't know why. I think I was just going there because it is true and funny. And I know that's what everyone else would be thinking, because like, that is just bad manicure and dirty nails. Like, those toes have to be like talons, like tree climbing toes. And
they weren't. $5 will buy you a lot of fucking fit.
You know what? I've never thought about this, because like, you know, you think about like, is my man faithful or not? But like, what about this gray area of your man like buying feet photos on the internet? Because like, is that cheating?
If I have solicited your feet your feet pics, please don't text Jenna right now.
It's not cheating in the literal sense of like the traditional sense, but like it's
The cyber sense.
It's fucking weird enough to, I think, in the relationship. Like, it's fucking gross if I found you just like beaten off to strangers' feet pics or something. I would be so weirded out, especially because you've like never given my feet the time of day. That's even weirder.
But if I massage your feet a lot for the time that I have in
In
hand.
2021.
For the time I have in hand.
In 2021.
For the time I'm counting on. But so, yeah, so like if you are in such a need that you know your feet are not maybe the prettiest, and you're already offering pictures of them to make a living, like that's respect. That's a hustler in my books.
I actually think it's amazing that women have been able to like capitalize on that sort of thing, you know, like the OnlyFans and all of it. I mean, in a way, you're still safe-ish, right? Because you're not meeting up with people and you're digitally selling something, even if it's your body. It's like some of these women are making a ton of money, and I just like, I don't know. I don't really hate how people are, making money.
No,
They're not lying or cheating. And
if you feel comfortable with your body, like, yeah, it's not the prude, and I'm pretty sure there's many people that, but God, it's the biggest industry.
crazy.
I think that 60% of the most trafficked websites are porn websites.
How do you know this fun fact?
Well, I'm buying advertising there. Like, if you're wanting, after you beat up, if you're looking to sell or buy your house, call me.
Need a new house to beat off in?
Need-
That could be your ad
need
on
a
the
new-
porn site.
Need a new living room to beat up with. Call Francisco Rizzo. Yeah.
I'll help you with the grammar.
Yeah, thank you.
I can come up with some good porn puns for your home sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of being creative. But yeah, I'm buying some ads in OnlyFans and you porn or whatever that is.
Whatever that is, like you don't
Whatever
know.
that is, I don't know.
Well, that's good. It'll just offset your subscription, right? You're just trying to find a way to
Holy shit.
break
You remember
even?
that time that we tried and I subscribed to one of those websites? I get charged $55, $40, $3.
Fran literally, I think at this juncture, he paid like $300 to like have sex with me one night because we wanted to watch some porn.
Much more of that
And like you didn't see that it was like recurring billing you.
No. It is a humongous scam. Don't do it. So I called my credit card processor, like, hey, I need a new credit card number because it's been so. But when you have this type
You tried to
of card,
protest the charge.
when you have this card, you can still see that it declines it.
Yeah,
But
they're
you can
charging.
still people that they're trying to keep charging it. It's like, gosh, I'm already paying for advertising.
They keep coming back
Chillax.
for more from you.
Yeah.
They like what you're putting out.
Well, I already went in like, well, I've already paid for it. Let me see what I did paid for. Nothing good.
I love it. But going back to that other TikTok that I made too about parenting, I always said, like I've noticed like my health in general has just like completely gone out the window. And if it weren't for some of the fabulous health and wellness sponsors on the podcast, I'd really be struggling because I love the convenience of things like Daily Harvest, for instance. That's a sponsor of the show. But Daily Harvest, it's funny. I actually was a customer of Daily Harvest like way long before they decided to sponsor the podcast because I used to see their smoothies advertised online and I was like, that's great. I don't have to make my own smoothie. Everything's chopped up. You literally just like throw it in the blender, put it back in the cup after you mix it, with the liquid of your choice. And then I'd like take it to work with me really early in the morning. I absolutely loved it. And Daily Harvest now has so many other delicious items. Yeah, Fran, like at least once a week, makes a flatbread and brings it into bed. I think it's supposed to be a dinner, but let's just call it his late night snack. It's a very healthy late night snack.
I intermittent fast, so I take most of my caloric intake from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. It's not working, but that's when I'm hungry.
But now they have, like Fran said, the flatbreads are delicious. They have harvest bowls, soups, snacks, smoothies, lattes, and everything's built on organic fruits and vegetables. They're sourcing the best ingredients, freezing them at peak ripeness to lock in the flavor and nutrients. And they never use artificial preservatives or ingredients. And another one of my favorite parts, they deliver right to your front door. Let Daily Harvest do more so you can do less. Go to dailyharvest.com/Fitish to get up to $40 off your first box. That's dailyharvest.com/Fitish for up to $40 off your first box. Dailyharvest.com/Fitish. Speaking of your physique, Fran made me laugh so hard the other night. A quick rundown. We actually have some questions to get to today too on the show, but I've been trying to commit to watching some of the Oscar movies. And so, we make it through like some movies these days. Some of them are just so long. Babylon, I actually thought Babylon was good. It was like over 3 hours long. But
Which one was Babylon?
Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, like the beginning of Hollywood. It got some like pretty bad reviews, but I had low expectations and I thought the movie, I like movies like that though, but we liked that. So we start like knocking off a few of these Oscar movies that we like. We watched another one. The Triangle of Sadness. I really like that
really
movie.
good.
That movie's not what I expected.
And we saw the Edgar Allan Poe movie.
The Pale Blue Eye. with Christian
one,
Bale.
yeah.
Oh, but I fell asleep before the twist and I forgot. And the next day you told me that you couldn't believe what happened. And I thought you were lying to me. I need to go back and watch the end again. They all got COVID. I don't think that movie was nominated. But anyway, then we take a break. And I came across this show called Physical 100. I think that's the dub name. It's a Korean fitness. It's a Korean fitness show. And Fran and I never watch reality television other than the Great British Bake Off. I think that's the only one we watch. And
Jenna the Kardashians besides that, but not anything else.
Why do you always say that? I haven't watched that show in a year.
Why is in my queue?
What do you mean? On
It's
Hulu?
always like you want to keep watching.
One of your other fuck buddies must be watching it. I swear to you, I actually would like to watch it. I have not watched a Kardashian show since I was pregnant.
Yeah, but you have it on the queue. Just would continue watching the latest episode.
I own it. I would tell you if I watched it. I'm not ashamed of it. Like, I would tell you, but I swear I haven't. Oh my gosh, you're annoying. Anyway, Physical 100. This is like really hot, ripped Koreans. Like 100 is way too many people for a reality show. I was telling the girls at work today about it, and they were saying some of their friends love it.
Because it's all these very ripped, good-looking Koreans and these very ripped female Koreans that look like male Koreans.
That's one of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, Fran and I are
Only
watching it, and this show's like amazing. It's not the Squid Games knockoff, like, but some of the challenges are like pretty intense physical, and it's way too many head-to-heads, right? 100 people's a lot, and they show like every match. But I recommend watching it because the dub-over is hilarious. It's like two meathead guys being like, "Wow, you look really good. Oh wow, look at his physique. Wow, he's beautiful." You know, that's what the dub's like. It's so funny. And Fran, literally, we're laying there in bed, and Fran goes, when we're meeting like the whole cast in the beginning, Fran's like, I used to look like that. And I'm like, when did you used to look like that? Like, I love the man's mind.
I remember when I used to look.
Yeah, I remember. You remember when you used to look like that? When?
Babe, I choose the guy that looked less ripped. Okay? I have pictures.
Any of the 100. When?
I have pictures.
I show it right now.
May 2019.
Oh, just a short few months before we met. Oh, I was your undoing.
No.
I was your physical undoing.
May 2019. Was it May?
It wasn't May. I thought the better question is, was it ever? Was it ever? Was it 2019? No, I love it. You look great, but that is just so crazy to me that men actually are like, I used to look like that. Like, in no point in my life have I ever looked like any of those people. Like, even at my like best shape, wasn't even close to that. And that he's so delusional that he's like, I used to look like that. It's amazing the confidence that men have. Like,
how about there? Well, maybe it wasn't May. Okay.
Maybe it wasn't me. Okay.
May. I said maybe it wasn't. It was me.
I'll let you keep looking. It like really makes me very happy, actually. But I highly recommend the show. It's great. We were watching that, and then we were watching. Then we tuned into the American kind of version, the Special Forces one that has a lot of like celebrities, retired-ish celebrities, right, on the show. And Fran's like, I want to go do a Navy SEAL training course. And he was like, do you think that exists? I'm like, of course that exists. Are you still looking for these photos?
Yes.
Okay, why don't we can just like pop it up for everyone later once you find it and have time to edit it, you know?
No, that's why if people see that it's completely unedited.
The Special Forces show is pretty good, though. I don't know. I don't love reality TV and how drawn out all of it gets. So I would do terrible on any of those shows. I have no upper body strength. If it was a baby holding contest, I might win at this point.
For a certain amount of time.
Yeah. I'm exhausted holding him every night, trying to get him to sleep. It's crazy. He wants me to sing. I made it to like 50 ants go marching, one by one.
50. And you rhymed them all?
The ants go marching 50 by 50. Hurrah, hurrah. Oh, yeah, I rhyme real dirty. Once he starts to kind of like doze off, I'm like, yeah. The little one stopped to take a pee. And then I get like dirtier when I'm rhyming. At some point, that's how he's going to learn it. No, like I don't know. I don't swear. I don't think, but I get dirty with my aunt's marching rhymes when I sing to him at night. I gotta spice it up for myself, Fran. It gets long in there. It gets very tedious. Can you put your phone down? You're still scrolling. It's irritating me because you're not paying attention and you're looking for your perfect physique, and it's gonna take you back at least. You're gonna go decades, I'm sure. And you have 100,000. You have 100,000. You're gonna end up showing me a baby photo when you had like a 2-pack.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
I can't even believe you're still looking for these photos. It brings me back. It makes me reminisce on the time that we have to tell them. For some reason, this sexual moment for you and I like sticks out so much in my mind because I've never laughed so hard, like especially in a moment of intimacy. Then it was like Halloween 2020, I think, right? And I was dressing you up as Pablo.
Yeah.
And do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do remember.
You remember what I'm going to say?
I'm going to keep looking for that picture.
And I don't remember. It was at some moment, but I think it was you too. Like, I think we both at the same time looked down at you and you had like a stomach, like more than you had ever had. And I think you saw my face and you.
It was just like a little, like, you know.
And you were like, what did you say?
I'm getting into character.
I don't know what had happened. I don't know. But it's just funny because like I've never thought you're like in bad shape. But I mean, you're not some sort of gym freak by any means, but like you're fine.
Yeah. And so, and that body is a real thing. Like you grow a little bit to be able to cope with the fact that you don't sleep.
And you wear those hideous padded vests now anyways, so
no, the padded vest serves multiple
I'm not going to get into that again. It's just my absolute, I didn't know it was, but it's my least favorite. Like, let's just say if you had picked me up wearing that on our first date, there would not have been a second date. And I know that's superficial. I hate it fashion wise. Like I hate the vest.
What do you hate about the vest?
Because I am not the type of person that feels that you should sacrifice style for utility.
Okay.
I think there's still fashionable ways. It's self-expression. It's a vest.
Absolutely. It's amazing. It looks great. It looks professional. And it's for that time where you only need your core, but it's not cold enough for your Actually, you met me on a vest. I was wearing you're saying a 3-piece suit. I had a vest.
Very different. That you're going to argue that some fraternity style vest is the same as a 3-piece suit vest. That is a very different type of vest.
Well, I didn't know that a quilted vest was a
Quilted.
Yeah.
You just said the word quilted.
Yeah, quilted.
You think a quilted vest is along the same lines as something like Tommy Shelby would wear in Peaky Blinders.
Absolutely.
He would wear 3-piece suits and vests with button downs underneath.
100%.
So you think I see Tommy Shelby in a bar and I see you in your quilted vest in a bar and you don't know what decision I'm going to make.
No, I know which decision you're going to make. Of course, me. Because these we're talking back in the day when I was raped like the Koreans.
I can't with you. It's so nice after you've been gone a day because I missed you.
Yeah, I'm going to go more often.
I know. In just a couple of days, you're going to leave me here. Hey, you know what I have been better at, though? I noticed, especially postpartum for myself, at least, that I was like feeling really tired. Danny and I who works with me, we were talking about this the other day. And, we noticed she actually ended up going to the doctor because her joints were hurting. And she's like, I think something's wrong. And I was telling her, I was like, I swear, if you haven't been taking your multivitamins, you're just deficient in something. And it took me a long time to find multivitamins that I really liked, whether it was the taste of or that I actually felt a difference. And I'm so thrilled that Ritual is a sponsor of the Fitish podcast because I love their supplements. And not too long ago, they introduced something to their line because I've been taking I did that's the prenatal I took, the multivitamin. And they have a postnatal as well. And then Fran and I also take the Symbiotic Plus. This is a 3-in-1 clinically studied prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic designed to support a balanced gut microbiome.
I do have a happy gut.
You do. You have a happy gut.
I have a happy gut.
Well, also, these are great because they are like minty, like that's the taste. And I know it's a small thing, and I think it's a big thing for a lot of people.
Like, this sounds weird, but if you burp it, it feels like mint. Does it not feel like salmon oil?
Fish or something. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, probiotic, postbiotic, probiotic, prebiotic, all of the biotics. I didn't even know there were 3 out there. Yeah, symbiotic. So if you don't take any Ritual, I highly recommend getting yourself on the multivitamin. And I know actually there's a lot of women that listen that are expecting or just had a baby, and their prenatal and postnatal is amazing. Maybe you're already on it. It's really easy just to get online and add Symbiotic Plus to your subscription. Symbiotic Plus and Ritual are here to celebrate, not hide your insides. It's time to listen to your gut. Ritual is offering our Fitish listeners 10% off during your first 3 months when you go to ritual.com/Fitish to start Ritual, or just add that Symbiotic Plus to your subscription today. Again, that is ritual.com/Fitish to start Ritual, or add Symbiotic Plus to your subscription today. What do you say we get to some Q&A?
Before that.
Okay. This is what happens when I plan the show and then Fran's not part of it, and now you're just gonna hijack my next segment.
I like
organized.
Surprises. No. I want to thank everybody for sending me your guesses about Remy's party. Nobody has nailed it yet, but you guys have given really, really good ideas.
Oh, actually, would you mind sharing a couple of the theme ideas? Because someone wrote me. I haven't gotten any of the guesses, right? Because they were all directed to you. We have a challenge going on. I forget what you offered as the prize.
$100.
$100 if you can guess the theme that I came up with for Remy's birthday. No one's guessed it yet, but I've had a couple people reach out. They are like nudging me, like, are you going to tell any of the ideas or your idea? I was like, well, I'm probably not going to share my idea till his birthday.
Well, you can still win $100 sponsored by the Francisco Rizzo Group by Douglas Elliman. And
can you read any of the wrong guesses you've gotten, actually? And then I'll read some questions for us for the show.
I don't have to actually look at my phone because I remember them. So one is the Uno party.
Like the game?
Like the game.
Oh, that's
Uno.
cute.
Yeah, so, well, actually I have to because I don't have a really good memory.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm glad you brought it up, and then you weren't prepared to go through them.
Yeah, so the other one was, I don't remember.
Okay. Well, that's great.
Anyhow, thank you very much. Keep participating.
Why don't you pull them up, Fran? So next time when you want to bring up an idea, just have it ready to go, right? But I have some questions ready to go. So in the meantime, while you look are you back looking for your peak fitness photo again? Is that what you're really doing?
There's no fitness in those pics.
Fran, this is for you, Fran. Okay. What has been your favorite spot you've ever traveled to? And why?
My favorite spot I've ever traveled to and why? Oh, that's tough. I love our trip to Spain was amazing.
I loved that trip. We went to Madrid and Mallorca, the island. Oh my God, it was just beautiful.
Yeah.
Fran and I want to move
I
there.
love that. I love Italy, and I have really fun memories with my family. So
in Italy,
and I think that's a good second. But also, my family and we used to travel a lot, and we used to road trip, like do crazy. So that I love road tripping. We went once to Orlando to spend New Year's, but we started our trip at the beginning of December. So we drove from Mexico City to Orlando, and that was an amazing trip. Good third trip.
Sounds like my worst nightmare. A long road trip. Ugh, y'all love to drive like that. I know you didn't ask me my favorite travel spot, but I'm just going to contribute it anyway, which is maybe annoying. But I agree with you. Actually, I have really fond memories of my work. Um, it's not that I necessarily feel like that's like my favorite place in the world I've ever been, but because of our experience and our relationship and being with Fran and us kind of wanting to maybe have that European lifestyle at one point, I loved that. But I hate listing off one of my favorite places ever is not somewhere that I've been with Fran. I would actually like to really go again and take Francisco and take Remy. But hands down for me, like almost no comparison. I mean, I love Mexico. I love other places, but I think the coolest experience I've ever had is Iceland.
Yeah.
And I've been to some very cool places, and it's different than what I expected it to be. And if you can swing it or have an opportunity, I mean, this isn't some glamorous beach, kind of vacation. It's very different than going to an island or anything like that. I mean, granted, it is an island, but it's a different type of vibe and a different type of trip. But I've just never in my life kind of seen nature be so beautiful that it, no joke, like brought me to tears. Like it's like an emotional experience because I didn't even know nature existed like that. It feels like it's out of a movie, and it's just such like an individual special experience like for you to have for your soul. And I just like can't wait and hope it doesn't get spoiled. And I'm sure there's places in Scotland and places around the world that look similar to Iceland. I've heard that there's, I've never been to Scotland and Ireland, and I'm sure they're very beautiful too. But anyway, I have to contribute that because I always love letting people know if you've never been. I just think it's so beautiful and such a bucket list thing to do. Fran, are your clients mainly English or Spanish speakers? Let's quick fire these because we have a lot of questions.
Both.
Two.
Yeah, I have I think it's a 50-50 of English and Spanish speaking.
It pays off well for Fran because sometimes people that don't really speak any English at all, other realtors don't know what to do but use Fran, and then you get the deal out of it, which is really great.
So I get a referrals from my own peers for people that speak Spanish, and I actually just had a wonderful experience with one of them.
I love that story. Maybe we can tell it after it closed. What's your song as a couple? We don't have one. We need to work on that. Maybe this Valentine's Day we'll figure it out.
I don't know. I'm listening to the birds.
How was your mental health during and after pregnancy? I'm so worried I'll fall apart. What?
No, I'm just laughing.
Why are you laughing?
That reflects my
when
mental health.
When you have a partner as clearly as supportive as this fucking asshole right here giggling.
I'm talking about my mental health.
Not great. I mean, what's the scale here? Like, are we going on a scale from, postpartum psychosis? Like, no. I think it's just the hardest thing for me again about pregnancy and postpartum is no one can prepare you for it, right? You can have even someone like me who tries to be real and let y'all know. Everyone's experience is different. I find myself very averse to women that are like, that's great if they had an easy pregnancy. There's just part of me that still doesn't believe it always, that everything's been easy, that it's easy and he sleeps and everything's great. Like, I don't believe it. So I don't like it. I kind of reject, when I hear people say that because it's just not the case, I don't think, for a lot of people. But I think I wish I had known how long it was going to take. I think if you go into it, don't be scared. You mentioned that you're scared and you're worried about it. The doctor said to me, she was so certain I wasn't going to deal with postpartum depression. And I looked at her and I'm like, how do you know? I mean, I feel like it happens too. How do you know that someone's not going to deal with it? She goes, well, a big factor is a good support system. And, she would see Fran, he's super overprotective and was with me at appointments, and my mom and his mom came and stayed with us. And I really think that support, and I'm telling you, even if you don't like your in-law, even if you don't like your in-laws or you don't get along that great with your own mom or whoever, I think there's an element of having a friend or someone around in that period of time afterwards just to kind of set the expectation, let them help you around the house, let them help you, let them do things for you. That really helped me a lot in the immediate aftermath because it's a lot to take on and you just need to really recover. But day by day, and read and listen to other women that go through stuff. I think that can be so helpful, right? Again, that's why the app. I gotta make that app, right?
Yeah, I think every time that people ask me about that is like that audio from our president Joe Biden that it says the focus that he makes no sense about do you feel focused? And it's like focused, like he
Like
just goes in a ramble. Like he's like,
let's see. Yeah, lots of baby kind of questions. Are you guys sneaky married already? No, I'll answer that directly. We're not. We're not married. I would tell y'all. It's no big deal.
well, that's sneaky, Mary.
A lot about baby-led weaning, purees. I like to combine some of y'all's questions so I can try and hit as many. Or scared and anxious when you started to give Remy solids for the first time. Absolutely. Solid Starts, I've told y'all, is a great resource to follow. Truthfully, I don't follow it much anymore. And recently, I'll admit, I've kind of just given in to certain things that I thought maybe I wouldn't feed him for a long time. I think it's very easy to stand on a pedestal for yourself and be like, I'm not seasoning his food and I'm not gonna put butter and stuff and I'm not gonna let him eat fried chicken nuggets or whatever, and that is really going downhill. Which then I realized it's okay. I don't think I want to be a good balance. Like, I mean, I'm not giving him McDonald's. I bought, do you see I bought
Chick-fil-A.
yeah, I did give him a Chick-fil-A nugget the other day. He loved it. No surprise. But in general, no, we still do some purees. I think if I had a good tip, though, something I've learned with traveling and kind of the baby going to the bathroom, when they start, I think mixing purees, we still chop up food smaller than is probably necessary. But we let him eat just about everything that Fran and I eat. We're not giving him dairy right now because I think that was flaring up his face, so that's hard. But yeah, now he's eating. We're not always eating together.
Crazy about lime. He grabs those limes like if they were apples.
True Mexican.
Yeah.
But I'm not Mexican and I love lime. Yeah, he eats limes like apples, but we kind of had to stop that. I think it was burning his face. That can't be good for him. But yeah, we let him try everything now. And he seems to like everything. So we're pretty lucky there. But yeah, Solid Starts is such a great resource. And yeah, I just feel that it's okay to let him try stuff. I mean, we haven't given him juice boxes and stuff. Oh, I was going to tell y'all though. Purees, I think when you start giving your child a lot of solid foods, and this is just my experience, they're going to gravitate towards a lot of things that are more like fiber rich. And then you're going to notice they're not going to go to the bathroom. Not that I want to have baby bathroom talk, but what I really should have done traveling, and it was fine. Any of the pea fruits and vegetables is what, especially the pea fruits, is what the pediatrician said is best if they're constipated, right? So this is like pear, prune, peach, pineapple, that sort of thing. Having prune, and he likes prunes, but having the prune purees in the pouches to make sure when you travel, or at least once a day, every other day, giving them something like that. Because otherwise he's eating like a lot of chicken and bread and, things that he's going to not go to the bathroom. So now I'll always travel with those puree pouches.
Yeah.
Man, they make a mess. Do they ever, huh? Let's see. But yeah, I do get scared. And I try to feed him new foods when Fran's not around because that Fran just like can't emotionally handle
Which new food that will emotionally get better?
I mean, like larger bites of food and things that I want him to try, because I know like Fran's like, if he thinks Remy's choking, Fran's like shoving his hand down Remy's mouth and then Remy's crying and then it's a whole thing, and I'm like, first of all, don't do that. Pick him up and turn him like almost upside down and beat his back, but I just, whatever. You have him floating on his back in the poozy feeding him veggie straws. Like,
yes, and I don't know why you make a big deal about, like, I'm more liberal than you think. Yeah. Now we found that we like the same snacks.
Wake up in the middle of the night and Fran's watching him on the camera.
Yeah.
No, it's so sweet. I know now you can snack with your son. Isn't it amazing?
Amazing.
Okay, we have actually so many questions today, so we're not going to get to all of them. But someone asked, let's do this one. What are y'all doing for Valentine's Day, since that is coming up? I never really get too excited for this day. Honestly, like...
It's a surprise.
To who? Yourself, because you don't know what it is yet?
No, to you. They all know.
What do you mean they all know?
They all know.
How?
How, babe? We communicate.
Oh, whatever. Like the birds?
Yeah.
You talking to each other like the birds?
I tell it to the pigeon.
Are we going to do something?
Yes.
On what day?
On the 14th.
Oh, we're gonna go do another cooking class, aren't we?
No.
Really?
We don't repeat.
We don't repeat. I liked that one. That was a good one, and I'm sure someone's asking for some ideas as well. So, we love. I don't even like to cook, but you don't have to cook. You can bring some wine, and you can let your partner cook. Those cooking classes are like kind of fun and funny because there's strangers in there, and you end up making something really good, and you learn a lot about, I don't know, making a good dinner. And that was a really enjoyable Valentine's afternoon. But yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I think Valentine's Day for me this year has been a reminder that Fran and I need to celebrate our love for each other. And maybe when he gets back in town, we don't. Another one of y'all's questions along those lines was like, how often do you do a date night? And I'm telling you, we don't do it nearly enough. And we need to really make a point, I think that's something that's helped with my mental health is when we have weeks where I've at least gotten to like go to a workout class with a friend, or, you carve out some time to do something that's not just like work and parenting. It makes a huge difference in my mindset and how I feel. And that's something Fran and I have really been slacking at because we want to spend time with Remy and we're both really busy and we'd have to get a babysitter and that's hard. Sorry, I'm still overcoming this sickness. But anyway, I don't think it's about the Valentine's date for me necessarily. But did you do a party bus or something? Are we doing something a party bus to karaoke party bus with a bunch of like friends that we're not even friends with?
No, we're going to go to a rave.
I just think like a 4 or 5 p.m. like meal at like one of our favorite sushi spots. It doesn't even have to be next week. Like just coming up here, we should like do that one night.
Yeah, for sure.
I would like that. But yeah, I just think, Valentine's Day is rough. Like stuff's overpriced. It's expensive. It's hard to get a reservation. I really just like quiet nights at home.
If you tell me set menu, I'm out.
Really?
Yeah. The only time I will accept a set menu is in a wedding or an event, not a meal that I'm going to pay for. Like set menu, I just hate.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. Well, you learn something new every day.
Just doesn't line up with your physical 100
no,
physique.
It just tells me that they're just cooking a bunch of shit like a wedding.
Yeah.
And most likely it's not going to be amazing.
But the nicest restaurants in the world have set menus.
I do like that. Okay, I make an excuse, I make like exception. Like
so if it's Michelin star,
if it's a Michelin star and it's like a
10-course meal,
like a chef's table type of deal, like like
when we were in Paris,
yes,
and ate at that restaurant that was so good. Granted, you still had a couple options on there, but I know what you mean. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't have anything planned for you.
Fuck, all this work I put on. And you have nothing.
Did you see any first birthday ideas that are not correct?
No, I couldn't find. I was looking for my Fitbit.
Okay, well, you should post some of the ideas because people are actively looking for one.
But I want
first
you guys
birthday
to
themes.
not give up. Send me more ideas.
Guessing? Yeah.
$100 to the winner.
And you'll know soon.
Sale.
Remy's birthday's on the 18th,
PayPal.
so we're just gonna do something chill at home with ourselves. No party.
Yeah.
Not a wedding person. I'm not a baby party person, but I am a theme person. So you will get a lot of theme out of me. But I'm sorry we didn't get to all the questions today, but we have good ones for next week. So we'll follow up with more questions. We might even have a guest on next week that Fran doesn't even know about. I know. How exciting, right?
That's the birds.
All right. Thanks for joining us. See you next week.